Aaron saw the world a little bit differently. And what he saw was a way that we could use FOIA, Freedom of Information Act requests. And when I sat with him, he said, look, everyone is saying they can't sue because of the 1986 Act. I'm going to sue because of the 1986 Act. He said there's provisions in that. There's rules that were set out that our government was supposed to adhere to. They took on the liability. They are not doing their job. They're not doing what the 86 Act requires. We're going to sue them for that. And it's going to start out as Freedom of Information Act requests. And, the cat's out of the bag, so I can say this now, but for about 5 or 6 years at least, we didn't really describe what was our strategy, but it's really interesting, actually. Aaron thought not only were we going to use FOIA, which is this great tool we have as American citizens. Essentially, our government works for us. It's of, for, and by the people, at least in some of these small spaces. It should be everything, but that's part of our fight, right? And what he said is, with FOIA, people usually request things that they're trying to find, a study. We could go as far as, and we have, saying we want every email where Tony Fauci uses the word mRNA technology. Again, we get to read his emails because he's our employee. But Aaron did something that no one had ever thought of doing with FOIA. He said, we're going to request things that we know or pretty sure don't exist. And this has never been done before. And so what's going to happen is the CDC, FDA, HHS, NIH, whoever we're bringing this FOIA request to, they're going to say, what is this about? We don't really have anything. And we're going to say, that's impossible. You're stonewalling us. We're suing you. And then by suing them, we end up in a courtroom where they have to admit now in front of a judge, we don't have a study that, like, for instance, one of our lawsuits, show us every trial you relied upon to make the statement that vaccines don't cause autism for all of the first 6 vaccines given in the first 6 months of life. The CDC's website says essentially vaccines, meaning all vaccines do not cause autism. Show us the trials you relied upon. We know they didn't have any. And they're like, what are you talking about? So finally, the judge's like, I don't understand. They're telling you they don't really have anything. And he's like, well, then as long as they make that declarative statement and you sign it as a judge, we'll take that as the final answer. And those were little victories.